Good afternoon. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. It is a beautifully sunny day out today. It looks nice out there, but 25 degrees and wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. It's not a pleasant day to be outside. Otherwise, I'd be working out there right now with the sun shining, but it sure is bringing in some good solar. If I get a chance, I want to try to capture one of those wind gusts on the camera when things are flying literally sideways outside the front of the house. You can hear it ripping through the house as well, and through the property, and things are slamming against the house and flying around. And this is the type of a day that keeps tearing down my wind turbines. Everybody keeps asking why don't I have my wind turbines up. Well, I've tried 3 years in a row, and 3 years in a row they've been knocked down. This year I'm going to fasten one up to the house itself. I need help though to get the pole up there, so I'm trying to get somebody. Chris doesn't come out of the house much at all anymore for his own personal reasons, but anyway, I've got to try to get somebody out here and help me get a 20-foot pole up against the house and get that wind turbine up there, and we'll be pulling in some power. The happy good news is already the batteries are in absorption mode. 15.4 volts, pulling in reduced wattage because the batteries are in absorption. So they've already taken what they need, and the controller has reduced the amount of power coming into the house. That is good. Very, very, very good news when I'm in absorption. That means the MPPT charge controller is actually reducing the power coming in from the solar panels and going to the batteries. Now if I flip on, oops, I got some coffee heating up. Hold on a second. Now if I flip on my inverter, which I'm going to fire that up and get the computer going in a minute here, you'll see that power should come back up. See, that power jumps right up. See that? To account for the power being used by the inverter. So I'm going to plug in my laptop. I'll be right back and see how much more power it pulls in. Correction, my laptop is plugged in. So that gave me a nice jump in the amount of power that the charge controller is drawing from the solar panels. So now, anything I did now with electrical, with power is free energy. Anything now above and beyond what the batteries are taking is wasted energy today. So definitely on a sunny day, my solar panels have the ability to top off the batteries very quickly. Now again, these are those two smaller batteries. I have 400 amp hours of power right now, 400 amp hours total. So that's not a lot of power, but they certainly topped those batteries off very quickly today already, and that is really good news. Yeah, it's hard to catch the gusts. It's really hard because by the time I start up the camera, the wind gust is past. But anyway, I'll see if I can catch one. It's really powerful. You can hear one coming. I hope that comes out on camera. You can hear it coming and coming. It's getting closer. It's getting colder. That one might go up higher. It's getting stronger. Whoa! Whoa! I just got blown over backwards. I was looking up high. Oh, cold. I ran out real quick without a jacket. I got blown over backwards because I was looking up at the trees and the wind caught me. I almost lost it. I don't know if that really showed up on camera. Wow. We get some serious wind gusts. You can hear them coming across the forest in the distance. They get louder and louder and louder, and then they rip through the yard. And that's the type of winds that'll lift up things off the ground. I've had ladders flying. I had my original rainwater collector flying through the air. I've had wind turbine towers picked up. I've had a barbecue grill picked up and flying through the air. I get some really... Here comes another one. You can hear it coming. Do you hear it coming? Well, that one passed farther away. But I hope that shows up on camera, because you can hear the wind coming through the forest off in the distance and then rips through. Yeah, that one passed further away. It's weird. Cooking up some lunch on the wood stove. Late lunch. I think you can see that steam rolling off of there. Pretty good. These are almost done. Good, perfect simmer on the wood stove. So, yeah, free energy right there. It's funny because I'm just editing a video about living off the grid and the bonuses and advantages of living off the grid, and right there is one of the bonuses. And back in the day, everybody lived off the grid and they all provided their own heat and their own cooking fuel, and now people suffer. It's really sad to see people suffer when energy like this is free for the taking. It's just free, and it always was free. And now we're tied to society. We're bound to society, and it's such a system now where we can't even get away. I think these are just about done. And it's really sad to see people suffering when back in the day, especially for heat and energy, people were independent. Now this is free cooking energy right there. Oh, I'm out of breath. I just spent a good share of my time fixing tents. This one I cannot close because the wind has shifted it and knocked over, somehow knocked over the wood shelf rack. Not totally knocked it over, just moved it somehow. I'm still struggling with that because I can't get it to close, but it was bulging out the back side and it has stretched the plastic. This tent is a mess. This tent was off in the forest over here and the contents spread out all over the place. I had to manhandle this alone. What I did is I got it over in place with the feet this way, cleared off the top shelf, which was mostly scattered on the forest floor anyway, and then manhandled the thing up and over the shelves and back down onto the ground, and then readjusted it. And then I retied some straps in there. I used actually tie-down straps this time. I'm going to the dollar store next time I'm in town and get more tie-down straps just for that purpose, because the ropes had failed and my oh wow, it became unzipped. I thought my zipper had failed, but the zipper came unzipped. It was a mess. Times like these, I'm sorry, I don't have time to deal with the camera. Stuff was blowing around the yard. Actually, there's stuff all over the place in the forest. I've got to go get my stuff gathered out. When Melanie's here, I'll have a lot better video quality just for the fact that I'll have a camera person for emergency times like this, because I was just doing everything I could to get the tent tied down and stop parachuting across the forest. The wind is horrible, and it'll lift these up like a parachute and take it off right through the air. It's not the first time one has broke free on me in the past, but it was the worst situation I've ever had, with stuff scattered all over the place. And me, one man, trying to struggle that down in place was just crazy madness. But I got it, and I'm going to go warm myself up because I'm frozen through and through. I just wanted to tell you what happened and what I've done with the better part of my day. That's getting to be the last of the cured firewood that I have on this property, cut and split. That's about it. I have a lot, don't misunderstand me, I have a lot of firewood, but none of it cured. So I'm getting pretty stressed about that, or not stressed, it's getting pretty serious. Tomorrow I'm going to go see if I can drag some more dead trees out of the forest. Regardless of whether I've got to do it, because I don't want to burn the uncured wood. Stuff that I cut 2 years ago is not yet cured, unfortunately. But that's because I cut it in the springtime when the sap was flowing. My bad. I've learned. Let me get back and close the door here. It is brutal out there. Again, I'm out of breath because I've been digging through the wood piles looking for my cured lumber. And again, securing some things. The wind today has been horrible. And somebody mentioned that my solar panels are at the wrong angle for this time of year. Yes, I agree. But I'm afraid to angle them up more, because then they blow over on their face. And that's the problems I have with the wind here. Everything I do, I have to consider the wind gusts. So we got snow coming in, and it looks like it's going to be snowing today and tomorrow. So we'll see how the weather looks. I'm going to warm up with a hot tea and get back to work in the bedroom, preparing for the bed that I'll be picking up tomorrow.